What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Talk. Today, let's get started with Charles Oliveira has officially shut down the swirling UFC rumor regarding his next fight, clarifying recent confusion sparked by an unexpected post from UFC Brazil. Over the weekend, fans were caught off guard when UFC Brazil briefly tweeted what appeared to be an official announcement for UFC 324, a BMF title fight between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway. The tweet was deleted within minutes, but not before screenshots spread across social media, leading fans and analysts to believe a major bout had been accidentally leaked. According to a reporter who later commented on the situation, the Oliveira-Holloway matchup was, at one point, penciled in as the original main event for UFC 324. However, circumstances changed behind the scenes, and the tweet was never meant to be published. Despite the confusion, speculation grew rapidly as fans eagerly awaited clarification from Oliveira himself. Now, the former lightweight champion has broken his silence. Posting a video message on his Instagram story, Oliveira addressed the rumor directly and made it clear that nothing has been finalized. He explained that he is currently on vacation with his family and has not signed any contract for a January fight. Oliveira stressed that while the matchup with Max Holloway is one he wants, and one Holloway wants as well, it will not take place in January, contrary to the circulating rumor. He further added that discussions are indeed underway, and both sides are interested, but the timing is being misreported. Oliveira believes the fight is far more likely to land in March or April, noting that negotiations are in progress and updates will come soon. He also acknowledged that when rumors begin to leak, it usually means some movement is happening behind the scenes, but reminded fans that nothing is official as of now. With both fighters expressing interest and the BMF title on the line, anticipation continues growing. Fans are now wondering not if, but when the highly anticipated Oliveira vs Holloway showdown will finally become reality. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Khamzat Chimayev has issued a direct and intriguing response to Alex Pereira, adding fuel to ongoing speculation within the MMA community. Recently, Pereira posted a cryptic message on social media that immediately captured widespread attention. The post featured a simple caption, 2 + 1 equals? Although unclear at first glance, fans and analysts quickly began dissecting its meaning, attempting to decipher what the light heavyweight champion was hinting at. Some fans believed Pereira was referencing a potential third title defense, suggesting that his next fight would mark his third major accomplishment in his current championship run. Others speculated that the post signaled something much bigger, a possible move to the heavyweight division. Given Pereira's size, striking power, and rapid rise through two weight classes, conversations about a heavyweight jump have been circulating for months. The ambiguous message only intensified those rumors. In the midst of that debate, Khamzat Chimayev unexpectedly entered the conversation. Although the two fighters are not currently linked to an official bout, Chimayev took the time to respond directly to Pereira's 2 + 1 caption, replying with -1. The response immediately went viral, with fans interpreting it as Chimayev's way of dismissing Pereira's message or perhaps suggesting that he would subtract from Pereira's momentum or accomplishments if they ever shared the octagon. Chimayev's reply has now reopened discussions about a potential showdown between the two. For years, fans have fantasized about a clash between Pereira's elite kickboxing and razor-sharp power against Chimayev's relentless wrestling pressure, physicality, and aggressive style. Stylistically, it is one of the most compelling matchups the UFC could make, a devastating striker versus a suffocating grappler, both undefeated in their respective divisions at the highest level of competition. Although there is no confirmed matchup on the horizon, the tension and back and forth between the fighters continue to grow. With Pereira's future uncertain, whether he will defend his light heavyweight belt again or pursue heavyweight gold, and Chimayev always searching for the biggest possible fight, the possibility remains open. Fans around the world continue to ask the same question: if Alex Pereira and Khamzat Chimayev ever meet inside the cage, who walks out victorious? The debate is far from over, and anticipation only continues to build. Move on to another news. Michael Chandler has finally opened up about a question many fans have been asking since RAF 3, why he didn't call out Conor McGregor during his post-match moment on the microphone. After his appearance at the wrestling event, speculation began circulating online, with many assuming Chandler had intentionally passed on the opportunity to reignite the hype surrounding their long-anticipated showdown. Now, Chandler has provided a clear and confident explanation. According to Chandler, the decision was simple. He explained that although he had a microphone in hand and the adrenaline was surging, the crowd roaring, sweat pouring, energy sky high, calling out Conor McGregor during a wrestling event made little sense. He emphasized that he has already called out McGregor numerous times over the years, and at this point, it's no longer necessary. Chandler reaffirmed that the fight with McGregor is already secured. He stated that the matchup has effectively been signed, sealed, and delivered since June 2024, and both fighters are committed. Chandler added that McGregor has even brought specialists into his training camp specifically to imitate Chandler's style, further solidifying the seriousness of the upcoming clash. In Chandler's view, the call-out phase is long over. Now both men are simply preparing for the moment. He also clarified why, instead of McGregor, he called out wrestling legend Jordan Burroughs at RAF 3. Chandler explained that in the context of a wrestling event, it made far more sense to acknowledge the biggest and most respected name in that environment. Calling out McGregor in a wrestling arena would not have served any real purpose and would have felt out of place. Chandler closed his statement with confidence, reiterating that he will face Conor McGregor in June at the White House event, a spectacle the combat sports world has been buzzing about for months. He expressed faith that McGregor will honor his commitment, and he signed off with his trademark positivity. God bless. See you at the top. As anticipation builds, fans now have a clearer understanding of Chandler's mindset, and even more reason to look forward to one of the most talked about fights in UFC history. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley is entering UFC 324 as a notable favorite over Song Yadong, and according to former champion Michael Bisping, the early betting lines are justified. The two bantamweights are set to collide on January 24th in Las Vegas, marking O'Malley's return to competition since his submission loss to the current champion back in June. With O'Malley looking to rebound and re-establish his place among the division's elite, all eyes are on how he performs against one of the heaviest hitters at 135 pounds. Bisping recently shared his thoughts on the matchup through his YouTube channel, where he broke down why he believes the stylistic dynamics lean in O'Malley's favor. According to The Count, both fighters rely heavily on their boxing, but O'Malley's length, timing, and precision striking give him the edge. Bisping noted that Song Yadong's primary weapons are his powerful hands, while O'Malley thrives in clean boxing exchanges and excels when he can maintain distance and operate in open space. For Bisping, this matchup offers O'Malley the perfect opportunity to showcase the full range of his skill set. However, Bisping also emphasized that the fight comes with significant pressure for O'Malley. Despite being only 31, O'Malley is coming off 2 consecutive losses, and a third would be a major setback, both for his hopes of making another title run and for his star power, which has been a defining part of his UFC career. Many fans are questioning whether the UFC intentionally booked a striking heavy matchup to help O'Malley get back on track, but Bisping cautioned against underestimating Song Yadong. For Song, this fight represents a massive opportunity on one of the UFC's most high-profile cards of the year. A win over a former champion in front of a global audience could propel him directly into title contention. He's entering the bout with momentum, coming off a technical decision win over Henry Cejudo, and his record of 3 wins in his last 5 fights shows he's consistently performing against elite competition. Ultimately, Bisping believes O'Malley should rise to the occasion, but he also warns that Song Yadong is fully capable of ruining those plans. The matchup promises fireworks and carries high stakes for both athletes as UFC 324 approaches. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has openly accused former interim champion Cyril Gane of intentionally cheating during their controversial heavyweight title fight at UFC 321, a dramatic escalation in a rivalry that previously carried no hostility. Before their October clash, both fighters were respectful and professional, with no signs of tension, but after their bout ended in chaos, Aspinall's tone has completely changed. The fight, which marked Aspinall's first defense as the undisputed heavyweight champion, was abruptly stopped after he told the referee he could no longer see due to multiple eye pokes. The stoppage immediately triggered debate. Some questioned whether Aspinall could have continued, while others focused on the severity of the fouls themselves. What had not been widely discussed, however, was whether Cyril Gane acted deliberately. That conversation intensified after Aspinall released a new video breaking down the fight footage. In the video, he makes a serious accusation, claiming that, after reviewing the exchanges more closely, he now believes believes Gane purposely extended his fingers toward his eyes throughout the round. According to Aspinall, when the first eye poke occurred in real time, he assumed it was accidental, but upon re-watching the fight, he says he noticed a pattern that changed his view entirely. Aspinall stated that nearly every time he put Gane in danger, Gane's fingers were extended toward his eyes, suggesting a repeated and intentional tactic. He encouraged fans to review the footage themselves, arguing that the clips speak for themselves and strongly indicate foul play. Aspinall went as far as claiming that Gane was cheating from the first second, and that compromising his vision was Gane's strategy to win the fight. Not everyone agrees with Aspinall's interpretation. Former UFC star Ben Askren dismissed the comments, calling them whiny, and saying the accusations do not reflect well on the champion. Askren's pushback has sparked additional debate within the MMA community about whether Aspinall is justified in his frustration or overreacting to an unfortunate incident. It remains to be seen how Cyril Gane will respond to these allegations and whether this controversy will intensify tensions between the two heavyweights. A rematch, now surrounded by drama, may be more compelling than ever. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall continues to find himself at the center of discussion following his controversial UFC 321 title fight, and now the heavyweight champion has expressed frustrations not only with Cyril Gane, but also with UFC president Dana White. As Aspinall recovers from the severe injuries he sustained due to the eye pokes that ended the fight, he has begun addressing criticism surrounding his decision not to continue. Aspinall recently revealed that he has not trained a single day since the bout, acting strictly under doctor's orders. He also shared that surgery may be required depending on the progression of his recovery. To clarify the extent of the damage, Aspinall posted his medical report on Instagram, outlining multiple serious issues resulting from the pokes. According to the report, Aspinall is dealing with confirmed orbital soft tissue trauma, bilateral traumatic Brown syndrome, a rare condition that limits upward eye movement in both eyes, double vision, impairment in the peripheral visual field, and a possible minimally displaced fracture in the right medial orbital wall. These diagnoses strongly indicate that the injury was legitimate and severe. Aspinall accompanied the post with a message thanking fans for their support, joking about the memes circulating online while reiterating that he intends to return and avenge the incident, which he continues to refer to as cheating. In a recently released video, Aspinall was asked to respond to Dana White's post-fight comments, in which the UFC president downplayed the eye pokes by saying, "Who cares?" and emphasized that Aspinall chose not to continue. Aspinall responded firmly, stating that he refused to fight because doing so would have been reckless and dangerous. He explained that stepping back into the octagon with double vision and virtually no eyesight against one of the best strikers in the sport would have posed an unacceptable risk to his long-term health. When asked if he was upset by Dana White's remarks, Aspinall replied pointedly, "What do you think?" Not everyone in the MMA community agreed with Aspinall's approach. Some fans criticized him for releasing his medical records weeks after the fight, suggesting he did so only after consulting multiple specialists. Others argued that one of Gane's legal strikes may have caused part of the damage. As the debate intensifies, one thing is clear: the rivalry between Aspinall and Gane, and now the tension between Aspinall and the UFC leadership, shows no signs of cooling down. Move on to another news. The MMA community has erupted with strong and divided reactions after Tom Aspinall released a video addressing the eye poke controversy from UFC 321 and sharing his medical records. While Aspinall hoped the documentation would clarify the severity of his injuries, the response from fans has been anything but unified. A significant segment of the MMA fanbase accused Aspinall of exaggerating or mishandling the situation. Some commenters claimed the timing of the medical release, more than a month after the fight, felt suspicious. One critic argued that the report looked like the biggest scam they had ever seen, suggesting Aspinall may have visited multiple doctors until one provided the diagnosis he wanted. Another fan added that if he truly could not train, he should vacate the heavyweight title so the division can move forward. Several comments compared Aspinall's reaction to previous controversial injury responses in the sport, insisting his video sank his stock and calling it unnecessary. Others claimed they had seen worse eye pokes with less dramatic fallout, arguing that fighters have historically continued despite similar issues. Some fans even accused Aspinall of trying to avoid risking his belt, calling him scared, a fraud, or a fighter whose explanations only made them less supportive. However, the backlash was far from universal. Many fans stepped in to defend Aspinall, pointing out that he was the one fouled and had every right to protect his long-term health. Supporters argued that the criticism was misplaced, calling out what they saw as a double standard within the MMA fanbase, quick to judge fighters for choosing safety over short-term toughness. One fan noted that it was wild to see so many people blaming the injured fighter instead of the one who committed the foul. Another reminded the community that Aspinall had two fingers knuckle deep in each eye, and that choosing not to continue against one of the most skilled strikers in the world was the responsible decision. Many also expressed confusion over when and why the community turned on Aspinall so abruptly. As tensions escalate, fans are already calling for a rematch to settle the controversy inside the octagon. With both criticism and support growing louder by the day, the eventual second meeting between Aspinall and Gane may carry even more intensity than their first encounter.